Good morning, everybody. Now the saga of Partygate and Beergate continues, and the hypocrisy, or alleged hypocrisy, of the powers that be in Westminster continues to be revealed. First of all, Partygate, with Johnson going to allegedly 6 parties in Downing Street and getting fined for it, and now with Keir Starmer being seen to be drinking beer in a hall in Durham at an evening gathering. He maintains it was work. Other people are maintaining that it wasn't, that it was all planned and work had finished. Now, of course, someone is innocent until proven guilty, but it's good now that the police are investigating that. But in a way it isn't, because these are just completely trivial, normal, everyday things. And there shouldn't be any question that anyone can go and gather with their friends or colleagues and eat some cake or drink some beer. But the thing is, these people were the ones who put in place the regulations and voted for these lockdowns and voted for the restrictions, which meant that the police turned into some totalitarian nightmare stormtrooper force that went around knocking on people's doors, fining people, arresting people for doing the same thing themselves in their houses, closing down churches, closing down businesses, closing down gyms and cafes and cinemas, and dragging people through the courts so that they lost their businesses, essentially. These were the people that voted for that. So they need to be held to the fullest extent of the law for their hypocrisy if they are found to have broken any laws that they put in themselves. Of course, the jury's still out on Keir Starmer, but it's not looking good. We shall see. It's absolutely incredible, however, that Johnson is still in his position when he's been fined. But that's just scratching the surface. The police looking into people drinking a beer and having some cake and drinking some wine. What's far, far more important are the midazolam murders. The do not resuscitate orders given to tens of thousands of people in care homes who should not have had do not resuscitate orders, because they could have made a recovery if they had been given the right treatment. Things that I can't mention on this platform, something beginning with H and something beginning with I as well. And also the serious health effects, side effects from experimental injections and deaths, heart attacks, blood clots, thrombosis, etc. from experimental injections. Now that the data is coming out from Pfizer themselves, who make these injections, or one of them, that show that they knew and they had the evidence to show that people could die from being given an injection. Now this is coming out. We need a far, far more thorough and important investigation as to who knew about this, but then let it go into the general public anyway, and propagandized it and promoted it and tried to close down and smear anybody who was questioning these things. So yes, it's important to call out the hypocrisy of Johnson and Keir Starmer, or alleged hypocrisy, as it still is, as the investigation hasn't finished into Labour. It will be soon, I hope. That's important, but that's only scratching the surface of the wrongdoing that has gone on. And so we can't be fobbed off with just looking at Partygate and Beergate, and then maybe there'll be some fines given out, and that'll be the end of it. That's not the end of it. That's just the beginning. We've got to go on and on and on and dig into who put these things out and is now responsible for masses and masses of side effects and deaths from injections. And this needs to be thoroughly and properly investigated, and people brought to trial for that as well.